ready to dive into a world of knowledge. One that spans centuries, all captured in a single massive work.
We're talking Pliny the Elder, right? His natural history.
Exactly. But it's not just like a bunch of facts, it's like a time capsule.
Showing us how Romans thought, you mean, about the universe, the earth.
Even their weirdest weather events, it's all in there.
And what gets me is Pliny himself. This Roman polymath wasn't content just collecting facts.
He wanted to understand it all.
To the point of, like, venturing into a volcano.
Right. The guy died studying an eruption. His nephew, Pliny the Younger, wrote about it.
It's such a wild story to imagine.
Being on the coast of Pompeii, Vesuvius erupts. Most people, they'd run, right?
Common sense.
Not Pliny. He hops on a boat.
To get a closer look.
His nephew writes about this cloud of unusual size and shape, and instead of, fleeing,
Pliny steers right towards it.
calls it a most glorious spectacle.
That's the kind of curiosity that makes him who he is. That drive to understand.
Even if it kills you.
Which, well, it kind of did.
But it's a good reminder. The pursuit of knowledge, it's powerful, driving us to explore even the most dangerous places.
Or the most puzzling. And natural history, that's the result of that passion.
Years of research, observation.
It was unfinished when he died. But think about it. 37 volumes.
37, covering everything from the cosmos to, like, rocks.
Plants, animals, medicine, even magic.
He cites hundreds of other authors.
400 or 500 at least.
Shows how thorough he was,
He wasn't just, like, picking and choosing fun facts. He wanted the whole picture.
The world as Romans understood it.
That's what I find so fascinating. This isn't just some dusty old encyclopedia. It's a window into their minds.
Their worldview, their whole understanding of nature.
All because Pliny wanted to know everything.
So, let's take a tour through this world that Pliny's built for us. See what caught his attention.
Okay, so the book, it starts big.
Gif.
Cosmology. Trying to figure out the entire universe.
Ambitious.
Especially back then, right?
Yeah.
Like, he tries to explain lunar eclipses. Well, you can kind of see where ancient knowledge hit its limits.
Yeah, it must be like peeking into the past, watching them try to figure out stuff we take for granted now.
Totally. But it's not all about space. He gets into the Earth itself, its shape, how big they thought it was.
Oh, so their whole understanding of geography, it all tied back into that.
Exactly. He's describing real places, but through that lens.
It's like those two things, the Earth's shape and what they knew about different places, they're totally connected for Pliny.
See, that's what's so cool. He makes these connections. Volcanoes, mountains, even the weather.
And that's where it gets really wild.
Oh, yeah.
Pliny basically goes full X-Files on us when it comes to weather.
Like, what kind of stuff are we talking about?
He's got weird winds, fiery things in the sky, even stones falling from the heavens.
He's got a term for that, right? Chasma coeli. A rift in the sky itself.
And he's not just mentioning it, he's trying to figure it out. Like, why would this happen?
Trying to make sense of it. The world is full of these crazy things.
It makes you think, right? How differently people explained things back then, like showers of blood.
Ominous.
Totally. But they had natural explanations for it, at least in their minds.
Right, because everything meant something.
It shows you how far we've come, scientifically. But then Pliny throws in this story about the philosopher Anaxagoras.
Go on.
Anaxagoras. He predicts a stone falling from the sun.
Wow. Bold prediction.
Whether Pliny believed it or not, he still included it.
Shows he was open to, like, the possibility.
Exactly. Even if they seem impossible to us now.
That's Pliny for you. Always searching, always wanting to know more.
So, like, why does this all matter?
Good question.
Why should we care about some Roman guy and his book of facts, even if it's a really, really big book?
It's not just the facts, though, is it? It's how they thought back then.
Like a snapshot of their understanding of everything.
Exactly. And Pliny, he wasn't just trying to figure it out for himself.
He wanted to share it, to preserve that knowledge.
Which, let's be honest, is something we're still doing today.
Yeah, good point. It's just, we've got different tools now, don't we?
Oh, absolutely. But do we still have that?
Yeah.
I wonder, that same drive that Pliny had.
To just figure things out. Because it's there.
That's what this book makes me think about.
Because even when Pliny was wrong, like really wrong.
Which, let's face it, was kind of off it.
It still tells us something about how far we've come.
About how knowledge builds on itself, even the wrong turns. Like, Pliny thought bees were born from dead bulls,
Okay, that's something.
but he recorded it, tried to fit it into what he knew.
That's the thing, isn't it? He was trying to make sense of this big, messy world.
And he wanted others to explore it with him, to keep asking those questions.
So, last thought. Imagine you're Pliny.
Okay. Roman polymath.
Got it. But you're writing natural history now, for us.
Ooh, that's a good one.
What would be in it? What would blow your mind?
It makes you realize how much we've learned, right? But also how that curiosity,
Yeah.
that hasn't changed.
That's the heart of it. That's what makes Pliny's work still relevant, even after all this time. This drive to discover, to wonder.
To find our place in all of it.
Exactly. So thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Pliny the Elder's natural history.
It's been quite a journey.
And who knows, maybe it'll spark some curiosity of your own. There's a whole world out there to explore, just like Pliny did.